the ability to be present in this moment or in any moment where you can observe yourself, please take the time to do so. Never think that life is just a series of things that are happening to you. You know, part of being conscious and part of the reason why we're here when we come for a key and I ask you how you're doing is that I also want you to be conscious of the fact that everything that is happening to you is happening for you. It is not just happening. You're not just kind of being placed in these situations having no control. Use those situations as an opportunity to not only see yourself and see others, but to be conscious and to be more conscious in moments that you're just kind of living through. So yeah, I hope I'm not starting you on like this kind of sad note, but so I think that we pretty much have all suspected that Kanye West has been rich for a long time, right? So it's no secret that this week, Forbes magazine estimated that Kanye is worth around $1.3 billion. But Kanye West still wanted to correct Forbes and let them know it's actually $3.3 billion, since no one at Forbes knows how to count. In a lengthy breakdown of his financial reports, which included a look into his contract with Adidas, royalties for Yeezy revenue, liquid assets, his Good Music label, and his debt, Forbes magazine is sticking to its evaluation at $1.3 billion and citing that the company has a Trump rule, which involves taking whatever the president insisted he was worth and divide by 3 and start honing from there. Nonetheless, Kanye's net worth is basically places him on the Forbes richest billionaires list. And he is apparently at this point being cited as at least being worth an estimated $300 million more than sister-in-law Kylie Jenner, who apparently just plopped down $36.5 million on her very own version of the, what does Drake call his new mansion? The manor, the palace, the whatever, the empress, the empire, I don't know. But, yeah, so apparently she put down $36.5 billion or $1 million, on a really beautiful LA mansion. And if you've seen pictures of it, it is a modern style architectural dream with a pool in the courtyard and open style living. So shout out to them. Did you guys did anybody realize this week that there was an earthquake in California, in the Los Angeles area? Yeah, there was actually, measuring less than 4.0 in the LA area. Definitely a little earthquake. Now, for them, that's not too heavy on the Richter scale for them, but definitely during this time, it could give you more cause for pause. So shout out to everybody in the Los Angeles area. Shout out to everybody listening in North California. Shout out to everybody listening in San Diego. What it do, shawties? So speaking of California, apparently, thousands of you motherfuckers decided that you needed to go to the beach, even though there is a stay-at-home order. Oh yes, California recorded its deadliest day yet in the pandemic, with 115 fatalities in a 24-hour period from Wednesday to Thursday. However, fatalities and cases are expected to grow It looks like people in California ain't that worried. Thousands of Californians flocked to open beaches during the heat wave on Friday, despite Governor Newsom's pleas for them to keep them ass at them yard. Now, pictures that were taken in Huntington Beach, an Orange County city on Friday, show large crowds gathering as they enjoy the spring heat wave, honey. So shout out to all of you hoes who went to the beach in California. Listen, let me tell y'all something, all right? I know very much that a lot of you people who are specifically from California, specifically in the warmer climates of California, Southern California, I know a lot of you very much treat the beach like we treat, Statue of Liberty or the Empire State Building here or the Brooklyn Bridge here in New York. If you're from here, those shits don't mean anything to you, right? So I know that you guys just went to the beach because somebody told y'all couldn't. And that's fine. Listen, I believe and understand that everyone is a little bit antsy at this point. And I get it. I think the one problem is number one, I'm looking at a picture full of people at the beach. No one has any masks on. Awesome. And to be honest with you, you're from there. I'm sure most of you actually have pools in your backyard. I'm sure if you want a bag of sand from Lowe's or Home Depot, damn. It is a very unselfish act to decide that you're going to think about the greater good of everyone else around you, even the people who are not connected to you, so you are going to deprive yourself of something in order so that people, even who you don't know, will be better off. I think that's a lot for people, and I know that people aren't digesting it as such because they're just thinking, well, I just want to be with my friend, or even myself, I get it. You just want to, you know what I mean? Like you ain't even thinking about it that deeply. But at the same time, that goes all back into being conscious about decisions that you're making in particular moments. Like, yes, okay, I know I could do something, but this is a character moment, and character isn't about what everybody thinks about you when the world is looking at you. It is about when no one is looking at you, can you still make the decisions that are right? So, I don't know. All right, well, shout out to y'all in California, whatever. So I think one of the other major stories of the week, and shout out to alleged baby mom Eliza Reign of Future's Babies Moms Incorporated. Eliza actually won a little battle this week after the judge tossed out Future's defamation case. According to Gossip, a federal judge ruled to dismiss the rapper's bid to force Eliza to pay him money in damages towards his defamation case. Now, Future claimed that she portrayed him in a false light to the public and says it caused emotional distress, according to court papers obtained by Gossip. However, Judge Cecilia Altonage also decided to judge out Future's illegal claims that he needed an immediate injunction to stop her from speaking about him, and tossed out his defamation case. I think my biggest thing is that you can have all the kids you want, because quite frankly, you can afford to have these kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know this man's fucking business. Like, nigga, you can afford to have these kids as far as I know. I don't know your life. I think, because a lot of celebrities get on this thing of like, oh, everybody out here talking about my business, but you've made poor decisions which because of what your profession is. And because if this was something good that he had done, we wouldn't be hearing about it for as long as we are hearing about this. But because this is kind of rooted in poor decision making, and I guess I don't want to be hypercritical because, whatever, this is this man's business. But really what I want to do is use his situation as an example to speak, because my audience is half female, half male. And then, about 46%, and then about 4% binary, non-binary. So when you consider that, this is even information and a way of breaking things down, like using stuff like this to understand how this even kind of plays out in everyday life. It is not irresponsible to create a life, It is not irresponsible even when you have the financial means to be creating these lives out here. What's irresponsible is that when you make these poor decisions to sleep with people without protection, and then as a result, you guys make a baby. What's rooted in that is a bad decision, because if this is not someone that you could have pictured or would have elected to be the mother and or father of your child, or father of your child, then in that moment, you got to be more conscious enough to say, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I could create a life with you. So, okay, fine. So you got the root there. Sometimes it happens, and so you get past it, But to fight someone, to be combative with someone after you both sat in that situation, wouldn't you just want to know? Wouldn't you just want to know? Like, I don't know, fellas, I have a question for you. Don't you just want to know? Why do you fight paternity and all that shit? Why? Don't you just want to know whether or not this kid is yours or not? I would want to know. Even if I don't want you to be this kid's mom, I would want to know whether or not I was this kid's dad. And the sooner I know, and the less messier this is, and the less that I drag this on, the more likely that my name will be drugged through the streets. Because now you're talking about court, and everything that happens in court is subject to public. So the idea that you would even have this go to a situation where it needed to be in court because, you want to fight it so bad. What you should have fought was the urge to merge. I'm just saying. Anyways, did y'all hear about that Canadian nurse who brought over 150 pounds of marijuana? Yes, honey. Okay, so Terry Leanne Maxwell, 48, a registered nurse from Canada. Well, you guys, she apparently did the absolute unthinkable. Oh, yes. Terry messed around and brought herself over 150 pounds of vacuum sealed bags of marijuana. Now, at a time when healthcare professionals are working overtime to keep us safe, U.S. Attorney Matthew Snyder said, "It is really shameful that anyone would exploit their status as a nurse to smuggle any kind of drug into our country." Under the guise of stopping the spread of the coronavirus, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I think that there are people who are making millions and millions of dollars off of selling marijuana. I think transporting marijuana from state to state or across country, I don't know. Now, they charged her with intent to sell, because obviously, even though marijuana use is legal in Canada, it is still